Welcome back from the breeder. You're still watching Sports World on ABC News Ghana with me, James Ohinba Makio. Now it's that time of the day where we dissect and delve deep into sporting issues in Ghana and around the world. And it's time for Talking Point, where we move internationally to speak to other sports journalists on whatever is going on in the world. For this time around, we are doing the World Cup qualifiers, and I have my man here, Eugene Oforisoti, who will be taking us through this particular segment. Eugene, how are you doing?
I'm doing well in high spirits. It's good to be back on this special segment. I think the last time was in March, international break. Yeah. We spoke to a lot of journalists, and it's good to also come back with this particular special show again.
So, who do you have on the show today?
Well, for tonight, we will be speaking to about 4 different journalists from across Africa. We'll be speaking to a Cameroonian journalist, Lawrence Nkede, who is a journalist and consultant for state media CRTV Sports. We'll also be speaking to Eddie Nsabimana, who is a sports journalist with the New Times in Rwanda. He represented the Rwandan football conversation. We're also speaking to a Kenyan sports journalist joining us all the way from Seoul in Korea, Nashon Owano. And they will be speaking to Chris Katos, who is an international sports journalist, who will be speaking to the Nigerian perspective. So these are our guests for this
I think show. Eddie and Katos are on the line. But then before we move to them, let's have the groups on the screens. Let's look at the standings of the various countries when it comes to the World Cup qualifier. So if we can have that of Group A to Group C on our screens. I think in Group A, it's an interesting group. So there we have it. There we have Algeria, who is topping that particular group. Then Mozambique is there.
Surprising.
Then Botswana are third on the league table. Then you have Uganda. Then Somalia is down there. If we go to Group B,
Tunisia with 16 points. Namibia following with 12 points, Liberia third with 10 points, Equatorial Guinea with 7 points, Malawi on 6 points, and Sao Tome and Principe with no point. Then in Group I, you could see Ghana with 15 points from 6 games leading the group, Comoros after 6 games with 12 points, Madagascar after 6 games has 10 points, Mali with all their players after 6 games have 9 points, Central African Republic after 6 games have 5 points, and Chad after 6 games have no point. We also have the other groups. Then for Group D, surprisingly, Cape Verde have overtaken Cameroon, have 13 points from 6 games. Cameroon after 6 games have 12 points. Libya follow third with 8 points. Angola with 7 points. Mauritius with 5 points. And then Eswatini with 2 points. Then with Group E, Morocco from 5 games have 15 points. Tanzania 9 points, Zambia 6 points, Niger 6 points, and Congo no point. Then for Group F, La Côte d'Ivoire 16 points.
For Group F,
it's changed now. Gabon is now leading with 18 points because Gabon has played 1 more game. They've now played 7 games. They just played this afternoon. Dennis Bouanga with the LAFC Los Angeles Football Club in US, who plays for the Gabonese national team, scored a hat-trick there. So now Gabon with 18 points. And the Ivory Coast with 16 points, but they will play tomorrow. When they win, they will now go to 19 points. Then Burundi with 10 points. Kenya with 6 points. We also spoke to a Kenyan journalist on that group. The Gambia with 4 points, and the Seychelles with no points after 6 games played so far. Well, so for our guest, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us, Eddie and Chris.
Good evening.
Well, so who do you have first? Is Eddie on first?
It's Chris.
Oh, Chris! Chris, it's good to see you. It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, thanks for having me today.
Well, the last time we spoke to you was during the FIFA Club World Cup time, where you did all the good work for us, covering all the big teams, Chelsea, Real Madrid, and other things. It's good to be back to speak to you on African football, the thing that we truly love as Africans. Well, there's a lot going in the Nigerian team, a lot of transfers. Victor Osimhen making his move permanent at Galatasaray, Victor Boniface leaving to Werder Bremen. Now a lot of Nigerians are in the English Premier League. Christantus Uche with Wolves, Tolu Arokodare with Wolves as well, and then Samuel Chukwueze with Fulham as well. So How is Nigerian football looking internationally?
Well, when it comes to the Nigerian team, we always have exciting players. We've always had good reputation in playing in Europe because the talent is there, no doubt about that. We have a very talented team. It's just sad that for some weird reasons this time around, we seem to be struggling to qualify for the World Cup. But when it comes to powerhouses, sometimes there are times where a true powerhouse decline, and there's some time where you have to go for rebuilding. So I think right now Nigeria is just going through the power process of being very low right now, because if you think about the talent, you just spoke about a lot of talents playing in Europe. You can tell they're playing good teams and they're playing week in, week out, and they're performing at the top level of playing soccer. But yet it doesn't transcend to the national team. So no doubt there's been a lot of FA issues on coaches, switching coaches here and there. But I just think on the larger scale, if we look at everything altogether, Nigeria has not just been fortunate in this qualifying series, because we've drawn 4 games and won only 1 game and lost 1 to opponents. In 5 years ago, you would never ever think about that those teams can withstand the firepower of Nigeria anytime, any day. But they seem to have soccer in Africa seem to have advanced way more than a lot of people might think, and so oppositions are now very difficult to beat, and that's why Nigeria is stuck in this quagmire right now as we find ourselves.
More dicey for the Super Eagles. They missed the 2022 World Cup. It is looking very much likely that they are going to miss this World Cup. The last time we spoke, we were quite optimistic, but unfortunately, we were unable to beat Benin at home in Uyo. In Nigeria's last 5 games, they've won only 2 matches. What do you think is the issue with the Super Eagles team? They've changed coaches. Augustine Eguavon has left. New coach Eric Shaw has been in the Home Affairs. Still, it looks like it's not working out for the Super Eagles with all their firepower. What's the problem?
Like I said, it's an internal issue. It's not about talent. The talent is there. It's just the inconsistency of the team and inconsistency of the FA that is overseeing the team that's causing a lot of problems. Because when you want to play for a World Cup, you see teams normally they're ready to play World Cups. Some start building a team 4 years before the qualification starts. This is a preparation to make sure that when the time is right, your team are ready mentally and physically to take advantage and win. But in the Nigerian case, there's always been the opposite because of in-house struggles here and there, But truth of the matter, if Nigeria doesn't win this next 2 games, even if we win the next 2 games, it's still going to be a difficult or a daunting task to qualify for the World Cup. But if we fail to get this last 6 points, we win this win Rwanda at home and beat South Africa away, then that is bye-bye to another World Cup. For Nigeria, it's going to be definitely another disappointing year without a World Cup qualifying.
Well, let's look at the table. South Africa leads with 13 points after 6 games. Rwanda has 8 points after 6 games. Benin also with 8 points after 6 games. Nigeria 4th with 7 points after 6 games. So almost just a point, 1.1 that Nigeria average, Nigeria's average point per game. Lesotho with 6 points after 6 games. Zimbabwe with 4 points after 6 games. Now let's have the squad list on our screens here for Nigeria's squad list for the games against Rwanda and South Africa. Eric Shaw goes with 3 goalkeepers of Adebayo Adeleye, Obasogi Amas, and Stanley Nwabali. For the defenders, he goes with William Troost Ekong, Calvin Bassi, Benjamin Frederick, who is a Brentford player on loan, Samuel, Felix Agu, Bright Osai, Chidozie Awazen returns to the national team after a long time out, and then Bruno Onyemachi and Ola Aina. For the midfielders, Frank Onyeka of Brentford, Alexi Wobi of Fulham, Rafael Onyedika, Dele Bashiru of Lazio, Wilfred Ndidi, and then Christantus Uche, who just moved from Getafe to Wolverhampton Wanderers in the English Premier League. Then for the forwards, we've got Ademola Lookman, who is with Atalanta and battled and looking for a new club. We might speak about him later on. Victor Osimhen, who just moved to Galatasaray permanently. Tolu Arokodare, who moved from Belgium to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Cyril Dresses, who just moved from Rangers to Panathinaikos. Moses Simon, who moved from Nantes to Paris FC. And Samuel Chukwueze, who moved from AC Milan to Fulham. A lot of movements in this team, almost about getting to 8 players have moved within this summer transfer window, which means that your players are hot cake and are being sold by other clubs. But what do you make of this squad heading into these crucial games against Rwanda and South Africa, who are the top 2 teams in the group?
Well, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a very, very tough, because of the situation Nigeria find themselves. They're very desperate right now. They need those points. Even if those points is not guaranteed that we might qualify, but we need those points to at least give us that opportunity to try in the playoffs. But for me, one of the players newly invited to the team that I'm really excited about is the invitation of Chidozie. He had a little spell here in the MLS, but now he's back in Europe and he got a call. I'm excited that he's back because he's a good defender. He's tested, he's trusted, he played so many games prior to now for Nigeria. So I believe he understands the magnitude of the seriousness of this kind of games, and he'll be up to task to perform. And regardless, the team is solid, very, very solid. The prayer now is deliverance. Can they deliver? That is a big question that we're going to find out when the game commences.
That's a big one. So Chris, kindly staying with us. We'll go to one of your opponents for your games. In fact, your first opponent on 6th of September, Rwanda. We've got Eddie Sabimana, who is one of the editors at the New Times in Rwanda, joining us. Eddie, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us, even though it's late in Kigali.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hi, Eddie. How you doing?
Hi, Chris Katos. Good?
Well, I'm trying to.
Well, you could see the rivals are catching up just before the heated encounter.
Just say it. What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to be good. Nigeria needs to beat your team to qualify. We need those.
Oh, points. Glad you're good.
Oh, well, all good vibes there from Eddie and Chris. We've joined by Lawrence Nkede. He's a sports journalist and one of the consultants for the state media in Cameroon, CRTV Sports. Mr. Lawrence Nkede, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Good evening to everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be on the show tonight.
Yeah, well, it's an honor to speak to you. The last time I spoke to you was when Andre Onana had initially resigned from the Cameroonian national team. I remember that interview about 3 years ago. You told me that, Onana will be back in the national team. True to your word, Onana is back in the national team. But we'll have that conversation shortly. Kindly hold on whilst we deal with the Nigeria-Rwanda game, and thereafter we'll come back to you for the Cameroon conversation.
Okay.
Well, so we still got Eddie. Eddie, well, we just spoke to Chris, and he's in high spirits. Nigeria has got their menu, but unfortunately, they've not been able to fashion out a way of winning games. They were not able to win against Zimbabwe at home and against Benin as well. And now they are hosting Rwanda at home in Uyo. What are your team's chances? Do you feel you have a chance, or you think, it's now in the hands of South Africa? Do you think Rwanda has a chance of qualifying for next year's World Cup?
First of all, I want to correct you. It's not in the hands of South Africa.
Okay.
South Africa they are at risk of losing 3 points against Lesotho because they have
fielded an unwanted player.
Because a complaint has been filed to CAF that they have fielded a player who had 2 yellow cards, if I'm not mistaken. So South Africa is also at risk. They haven't decided, they haven't taken a decision, but we could see South Africa suffering once those 3 points are deducted.
Yeah.
So that's a case itself. But for now, let's say South Africa are first at the top with 13 points. We are second, of course, and Benin, right?
Yeah, before Nigeria fourth. Yeah.
Yes, Nigeria fourth. So it's a must-win for Nigeria.
Yeah.
First of all, we know that. Rwanda knows that Nigeria, it's a must-win. Otherwise, they are going to stay, honestly, if they don't win this game. So pressure is on them, first of all. And of course, we were once at the top. Now we are 5 points behind. So we also need those 3 points.
So
that's what is making this game very big. I mean, very tough. It's going to be tough for Nigeria. It's going to be tough for us because we need all 3 points. And for your information, Rwanda traveled with a new FA president.
Yeah.
You know, he wants to show that the trust they gave him. I mean, he wants to start on a positive note. Who knows? Maybe he must have pledged some bonuses, which are in a huge sum of money in bonuses. Who knows? So he wants to impress Rwandans. He wants to start on a good note, on a positive note. So those are factors. I mean, the players are motivated. There has been good changes in the FA, and we don't want to find ourselves saying we have nothing to lose. No, we are not in that position. They are there to win. Last time, I think they won there in November, though we weren't able to qualify, but it was so close. So Nigeria is a big footballing nation, but we all know the African football. It's you lose or you win on small details. So the coach is working on those small details, and I believe that Nigeria shouldn't just go thinking that they're going to win.
Well,
last time we won against them, you know. Every game has its own reality, but Nigeria must know that we are not there just to. We are not going there just to lose.
Well,
we have Nigeria, we have South Africa, 2 away games. They are crucial. Losing any of those games, means that we are out, and we don't see ourselves in that position, honestly.
Well,
and speaking of the new coach, we have a new coach in Adair Amrushe. He's a Nigerian coach.
Okay.
It's a big test for him because he also has to prove Rwandans that he deserved that job, because he started badly with the 2 friendly games in Nigeria. He lost both games, and people, they started to question him. So I think this is time just to prove doubters wrong. There is a lot that motivates Amavubi, our team, as we name it. So Nigeria last time, the AFCON qualifiers, right?
Yeah.
We lost. No, it was in the World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah.
We lost in Kigali.
Yeah.
Thanks to Victor Osimhen's goal.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to the result must be different. That's why I can say.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You lost at home, but you believe that away from home you would win. That's a very interesting one. Let's see if we could get the team sheet or the squad list for the Rwanda national team. It's got a few names in Ntwari Fiacre, Buhake, Clement Tuizere, Ishimwe Pierre. Well, I must say for a West African, these names are quite a mouthful for me. But for you, Eddie, are you very confident in this squad going into the double-header games against Nigeria and then to lead South Africa?
Yeah, I'm confident because the coach is trying to bring in new faces, you know. He's trying to bring in new faces like Ntwari Fiacre is not a new face. Like, we have someone like Emmanuel Nshimiyimana, we have someone like Abedi Biramahire. Those are new names. We also have Alexi Nduwayo. Actually, we have someone like Hamon Ali Enzo. these are players who are new in the team. And the good thing is that these new players want to fight for that press. They want to impress the coach once they are given a chance, because they don't want to be dropped after one game. They need to play more. So they are just there just to show what they are capable of. So I think the motivation is on new faces than those who are used to playing for the national team. Okay. And our players, we used to have so many players playing in the domestic league, but for now they are getting a lot of chances of playing in different leagues in Africa and in Europe, and they have been performing well. Yes, the results haven't been good recently, but a lot must change. And in tough times, that's where a Rwandan team shows up. Nigeria must be aware of that. When the team is in crisis, when the team doesn't have good results, that's where Rwanda shows up.
Well,
that's what I can say about that.
Well, Eddie, kindly hold on. We'll wrap up. We'll wrap up temporarily for Group C, so Nigeria and Rwanda could hold on their horses for a while. We'll then travel to the group that has Cameroon involved. Cameroon are in some hot waters now, and if we could get Cameroon's group table on the screens. Cameroon are in group I would get that shortly. Cameroon are in group Group D.
The journalists can help you.
Yeah, Cameroon are in Group D.
Group
D with Cape Verde leading after 6 games with 13 points. Cameroon second with 12 points. Libya third with 8 points. Angola fourth with 7 points. Mauritius with 5 points, and Eswatini at the bottom of the table with 2 points. I remember I spoke to Mr. Nkedi a few months ago, and at the time it looked like Cameroon were in a comfortable lead. And unfortunately, a few draws, and things have not gone the way of the Indomitable Lions. Mr. Nkedi, if you are still with us, is this a cause for concern for the Indomitable Lions?
Well, not really a cause of concern. We always say it back here that the main opponent of Cameroon is Cameroon. It's our internal squabbles that bring us all the trouble we are found into. Can you imagine that we had a draw game against Eswatini in these qualifiers? That would have been 3 points, but we went there in pieces, and with the internal problems we have at the level of the Federation versus the Ministry of Sport, it has cost us a lot. I mean, even if we find ourselves second in position, it's not due to the performance of the player on the pitch. It's due to off-pitch squabbles between football stakeholders. It's rather unfortunate that we are still into that, and many thought that the coming of Eto'o would have brought peace and tranquility and progress in our team, but it's instead the inverse that is being produced. But when we look at the opponents on paper, Cameroon is favorites, and if the players do what is expected of them, we won't have any trouble sailing over Group D and making it to the World Cup. We are not in the group where Nigeria is finding itself in troubled waters. We are quite comfortable on the second position, given that we are playing Eswatini at home, and this Eswatini side, we played them last in 1992, 1993 in the World Cup qualifiers, and eventually we had a draw game away from home, just like what happened recently, and hopefully we hope to beat them at home, just like what we did in 1992, where we beat them 5-0.
When you were speaking, you made mention of Cameroon's internal issues. If you could explain into details what you mean. I remember a few months ago, I saw a press conference where I saw Vincent Aboubakar and Andre Onana as one of the senior players addressing the press on some various issues. Later on, I heard there was issues between the head coach Mark Breeze and then Fecafoot president Samuel Eto'o. Could you explain to us what you mean by internal issues that seem to be bedeviling the Cameroonian Indomitable Lions from reaching their full potential?
Well, I think we should understand, first of all, that Mark Breeze was brought in by the Ministry of Sports and not the Federation. This to the dislike of the Federation, who had its own options. So they started initially by not accepting the coach, but they were forced in accepting the coach, and they did everything possible to throw banana peelings on the road of the coach so that he can be sacked. But it has been difficult, and the fight between the ministry, which is in control of the national team, and the federation, who is managing the leftovers, the fight is ongoing between Eto'o, the president of the FA, and Mr. Professor Mola Kombi, the Minister of Sports. After the AFCON debacle, we should understand that President Paul Biya made a speech, and he said that Cameroonians love their team so much that the government has invested much money into the team, but the results are not forthcoming. So he has given firm instructions to the Ministry of Sports to redress that team. That's where the ministry comes into play and took over the national team. This to the dislike of Samuel Eto'o and his executive at the helm of the Cameroon Football Federation. So since then, there has been an animosity between the FA and the Ministry of Sports over the management of the team, and this has gone deep as far as affecting the players, because at the level of the players, many are those who don't want to see the president of the federation, and since Coach Mashbrick has taken over power, Eto'o has never set his foot in the dressing rooms of the national team, and we have this other internal problem between Eto'o and Onana. It's never said clearly, openly, but it is really visible that between the father and the son, things are not working out well. So we always find the pro-Onanas versus the pro-Eto'os, dividing Cameroon football fans into two halves, whereas the pro-Eto'os are called churchgoers, because people think that when you are a churchgoer, like a born again, you just believe what the pastor says and you don't even verify the information. So everybody that supports Eto'o is seen as a born again or a churchgoer, and we call them in French les Églisiens, because they believe in Eto'o's doctrine. They don't question whatever he does, it is good. And from the other side, we have now the Owls, where these are the opposition people who are opposite to Samuel Eto'o, and the Owls, they have people like Andre Onana. That's why he was kicked out of the squad at the level of the World Cup and the AFCON, and behind him you have a number of players. I could give you an exclusive, something that happened when the players were coming to Cameroon for this camp. The federation had arranged for big jet tour vehicles to carry the players majestically from the airport to the hotel where they camp. But Andre Onana, coming in, refused to enter into the car made available by the federation. So there were three: Andre Onana, Carlos Baleba equally refused to enter into the vehicle, and Vincent Aboubakar, who is a team captain, who is leading the charge against Eto'o, because in that press conference that you mentioned, the players had signed a petition that the federation should leave the coach do its work, that the federation should permit the coach work with his assistants, because one of the things which is happening is that the Mark Breeze has his immediate assistant, who is Mulunga, a Belgian of Congolese origin. But whenever it comes to the time of listing out the people to sit on the bench, the federation does it expressly to omit Mulunga's name, so Mulunga never sits. Mulunga is the one who organizes the training session, who does the tactical display, but on match day he finds himself in the stand. And we had two bench of assistants, because they were assistants named by the federation, and we had a bunch of assistants equally named by the Ministry of Sport. So with the presidency, a compromise was seen in order to merge the two, take some from one side and the other. But since then, it has never been a great harmony, because some will sit on the bench and others will find themselves in the stand. So that is how Team Cameroon has been functioning, with players who don't want to see the president of the federation. They don't want to touch him, greet him, or have anything to do with him, whereas he is the president of the federation. And recently in the FA's General Assembly, Eto'o declared that he is the boss of the national team and he is the boss of the restroom, and he is being forbidden to enter into what belongs to him as the boss. So Mark Breeze is saying he is the coach and nobody enters into the dressing room. So hence, since Mark Breeze came in, Eto'o is watching the team from afar and always just giving his instructions and sending his boys to do X or Y around the team, but he himself has never come to the point of even greeting the players, because part of the players do not want him.
Okay. So, well, Mr. Nkede, kindly hold on for us. We'll go to the group that involves the Ivory Coast, Gambia, Gabon, Kenya, and Burundi. We spoke to a Kenyan journalist, Owano Nashon, on the chances of Kenya, even though it's slim, what it means for them, especially as they performed very well at this year's CHAN tournament where they hosted alongside Tanzania. We spoke to him about other issues and looked at that group in general. Here's what he had to say. So I guess kindly hold on. We speak to Owano Nashon from Kenya and we get back to you.
So we are doing the talking points now. Kenya are in the World Cup qualifiers, and to have another perspective of what they are doing in the qualifiers, I have on Zoom and Nashon, one who is a Kenyan sports journalist. Nashon, welcome to Sports World.
Thank you so much for having me on Sports World.
It's great to have you. It's great to see you again.
Hope you're doing well over there in Ghana.
Yeah, I'm good. Hope you are good too.
Yes, I'm also good. Thank you.
All right, let's get to business now. Kenya were in the CHAN tournament. Before we come to the World Cup qualifiers, Kenya were in the CHAN tournament with Benny McCarthy reaching the quarterfinals of that particular CHAN tournament, where they lost to Madagascar on penalties. What do you make of Benny McCarthy's performance and that of his men?
I think the performance of Kenya in the CHAN tournament has been something that we've not experienced in Kenya for a while, especially having been in a situation where Kenya has been out of international football for a while. I think a couple of years back, I like going back to this analogy because it just brings back to the journey that we've been through to where we are today. You know, we were banned by FIFA and it wasn't an easy process coming back and going back to international competition. So the performance of the Harambee Stars was definitely an amazing performance, something that we hadn't really expected. I mean, when Benny McCarthy was appointed onto that position, we had hopes, but not to the level that Benny McCarthy has been able to bring them up to, especially during the CHAN tournament. I think during the CHAN tournament was one of those durations where we saw huge number of Kenyans, actually going back to the stadium, something that we really hadn't seen. And it's actually a good sign that actually something good is happening with football in Kenya. So I think as it is right now, most of us Kenyans are really happy with Benny McCarthy, and we're optimistic that he's steering the Harambee Stars in the right direction going forward into other competitions that are coming up in the country.
All right, that's great. But can you confirm for us the players that featured in the CHAN tournament? Some of these players currently in the main national team, if they are in the main national team, how can Benny McCarthy translate that success into the upcoming World Cup qualifying games you are playing?
Wow, that's a very interesting question and something worth talking about, because I think one thing that we've already seen during the CHAN tournament is how, even before the CHAN tournament started, I think one of the things that has always been lacking in most of the team selections that we've experienced with the Harambee Stars is most people have always felt that the players that are selected to go for international competitions, especially under the Harambee Stars, have always been selected on favoritism, and that has always been a conversation that has been going on. And I think that is something that is a topic of discussion in African football. Maybe should be a reflection for us to talk about on how the selection of players is done. But I think one thing that I like with the selection of Benny McCarthy is there's been mixed feelings about the selection of the players that we've seen, especially the players that have gone for CHAN. There are players that we were expecting to go and play for CHAN who are local players who are doing very well locally in the league, but they were not selected, And then there are those players who people didn't even know about, but were actually given a chance to play in CHAN, and they actually played really well. And also just after, on the last match with Madagascar, there are players that most of the fans were expecting to see on the field, and they were not able to play. So Benny McCarthy was able to change that, which is something that is not really seen, because in most situations that we've seen, when coaches choose a player to play for a particular tournament, they stick with them throughout. But what we've seen with Benny McCarthy is he's been very expecting a lot of things from the players, and going by some of the recent statement that he's been saying, especially surrounding one of the players that has been omitted from the particular from the qualifiers squad, is Benny McCarthy himself say that he's not going to, he's expecting the players to be disciplined. So irrespective of how you perform, you're a big name and you're not disciplined, then you're not going to feature in his crowd. This particular player, Austin, there's a lot of conversation on why he wasn't featured, but he's a player that was so good. So the rumors that went around is, he showed up to one of the training sessions a bit late before the game against Madagascar, and something that angered Benny McCarthy, and that is why he was excluded from that squad. So I think we have a lot of mixed emotions with the team selections, but we have absolute faith in whatever Benny McCarthy is doing at the moment.
All right, now let's focus on the World Cup qualifiers. Kenya are currently 4th in Group F of the World Cup qualifiers. Now, you guys play against the Gambia and also Seychelles Island during this international break. What are your expectations and any predictions for these two games?
I think riding onto the wave of the CHAN tournament, I'm very optimistic about these two games. But also you have to look at a game against a team like Gambia. Particularly from the last AFCON tournament, I was a fan of Gambia. I think if you love African football, then you understand the journey that the Gambia has had, being underdogs into the AFCON tournament and playing into the latter stages of the AFCON tournament. Yes, in the previous tournament. So they're not really an easy, an easy squad to play against, because they understand the process. If the Arsenal fans were watching, this is one of those situations of trust the process, because Gambia has actually shown us that the process actually works, And I think I also follow the Gambia outside of what they're doing AFCON. And from my perspective, I mean, somebody in Gambia could say something different, but as an outsider, I think the Gambia is really on the right track in terms of improving their football, because you're seeing new players, young talented players coming up, and as an outsider, I think I can say they're doing the right thing in terms of improving football. So going into this match, it's a really tough game, but riding onto the wave of the CHAN tournament and what Benny McCarthy has done, what Benny McCarthy has actually shown is he understands how to, to rotate the players. Because if you're following the CHAN tournament, then you notice that there are like 2 critical games that Kenya fielded 10 players, because 2 players were red carded in 2 successive matches, which was a very tough thing to do. But I mean, looking at CHAN, it's so hard to maintain a win, especially if you're 1 man down. So going into this tournament, it's going to be a tight one. My prediction for this game, worst case scenario, it's going to be a 1-1, but I'm putting my bet on Kenya to win this particular game. Going to Seychelles, we really have a history with Seychelles. Kenya has played against them before, and they have actually beat us in a couple of games. So we really have a mix and match, but then we had a new era. So on this particular one, based on the tactician Benny McCarthy, I'm optimistic that you're going to win the game against Seychelles.
All right. As I earlier said, you guys are 4th. I think Kenya has 6 points already in that particular group. Today, Gabon played against Seychelles, where they won that particular game. Currently, they are topping their table, and it looks like Kenya qualifying to the World Cup is becoming difficult. Do you have any hopes of overtaking these 2 teams, the Ivory Coast and also the Gabon, to ultimately qualify for the World Cup?
That's a tough one. I think I'm really finding myself in a tight spot, a bit very hard to give a prediction on this particular one, because part of me wants to be patriotic, for Kenya. But the other logical point of me is also saying, okay, you got to look at things and look at the reality of things. The Kenyan in me will actually say, yes, we can do it, But then again, if you're looking at the return games that we have, it's gonna be an uphill task, but I wouldn't say it's an impossible assignment. So it's gonna be an uphill, but it's not impossible.
All right, now let's talk about the 2 other countries in your group who are currently competing. They are going boot for boot, the Ivory Coast and also Gabon. Gabon won their game this afternoon. They are on top of the table. Among these 2 nations, who do you think will ultimately top the group and qualify to the World Cup?
I think for me, this is a case of experience. I think if you follow African football, then you understand Cote d'Ivoire has a lot of experience in terms of continental football and also international football. So I think on this particular one, I'll put my bet on Cote d'Ivoire. I think they still have a chance of topping the group. Gabon is a good team as well. They beat us in Nairobi when they came to Nairobi. I'm not saying this because they beat us, but on this particular one, I think I'll put my bet on Cote d'Ivoire, and I think the chances that Cote d'Ivoire could top the group. I'm still 50-50 about whether Burundi would be able to, our neighbors from East Africa, whether Burundi will be able to maintain position 3. That's something that I'll still be a bit ish about, because Kenya is also there and we've shown immense strength, especially after the CHAN. So Burundi, I think, might go down. We might come on top of Burundi. That's just my Kenyan prediction. That's what I think. But I think Ivory Coast has a chance of topping this particular group.
All right, thank you, Nashon, for joining us on Sports World, and congratulations for Kenya for hosting a good CHAN tournament. I hope the people there were happy about how the tournament went.
Yeah, the tournament was good. Actually, we had Patrice Motsepe, the president of CAF, saying that this was one of the best, CHAN tournaments that they've seen. The scenes were amazing. The fans came out. The funny thing is, most of the people who even went to most of these games were not even football fans.
Oh.
I think it was just one of those situations where, we are hosting it, so we gotta just show up. So I think it was really an amazing opportunity to show what Africa football is capable of, and particularly what East African football is capable of. Also considering that Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda is going to be hosting the AFCON tournament in 2027. So I think if you're following CHAN, then what you saw in CHAN is just a tip of the iceberg of what to expect during the 2027 AFCON tournament.
All right, thank you so much, Nashon, for joining us on Sports. We'll come back to you after the game so that we'll get a lot more perspective on the the World Cup qualifiers that is currently ongoing.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's a pleasure. So that was Nashon Owano, who is a Kenyan sports journalist. They're giving us a lot of perspective about Kenya's World Cup qualifier against the Gambia and also Seychelles. Remember, they use quite a similar team in the CHAN tournament, and Benny McCarthy is also doing a lot for the country.
So, well, we are back from Group F, where we spoke to Kenyan journalist Nashon Owano on that group. He believes that Kenya will not qualify. Its qualifications beyond their reach. He believes the Ivory Coast are in a poor position to lead the group. The difference between Ivory Coast and Gabon is just 1 point, and so it's a group that they will go neck to neck until the final week. But from there, let's go back to the Cameroon conversation. We've still got Chris Katos, who is representing the Nigerian conversation. We also got Maurice Nkedi, as well as the Edin Sabimana representing Rwandan perspective. But still, let's go back to Mr. Nkedi for Cameroon's conversation. Mr. Nkedi, we're speaking about Cameroon's internal problems. You spoke about Onana factors. You spoke about the ministry and the FA's debacle. I think it's not only a problem of Cameroon. It's an African problem, which I think FIFA didn't anticipate because of that clause on interference. A lot of the FAs have used that as an excuse for them to quote and unquote misbehave and then put that in the government's face that government are not supposed to interfere. In Ghana, it's also there, but it's in a subtle way. It's not very obvious as it is in Cameroon, as you put it. But let's look at the score that Coach Mark Brice announced a few days or weeks ago. Well, for the goalkeepers, Andre Onana is as usual, but I don't see Fabrice Ondoa here. We might look at why. Then for the defenders, I see Stade Rennes Christopher Wu, a very brilliant and a young defender I'm looking at for the future. One of the most important or defenders with a prospect, huge potential for the future, Christopher Wu. I see Jackson Chachua, Jean-Charles Castelletto, who is with Nantes in France, Nuhu Tolo, who is now in the US. I think Chris had an interview with him a few months ago. Michael Ngaju, who is one of the veterans in the Cameroonian national team, a good defender. Nagida Mahamadou, Malcolm Bukele, and Flavian Boyomo, who is with Osasuna in the Spanish La Liga. I watched him a few games, I think against Madrid. Had a good game against Mbappe, I must admit. And then in the midfield, where the kingpins are around, Andre Frank Zambo Anguissa of Napoli, Carlos Baleba of Brighton and Hove Albion, and then Ivan Neyu of Getafe, he just moved this season. Martin Hongla as well, another player with a big profile, and Martin Atemenge. For the attackers, the good old Christian Basogog from 2017, Brian Mbema, who just moved to Manchester United, Nicolas Brice, Momo Ngameleo, I also know him as well. Then Frank Magri, who is being on a good form in the French League 1, Vincent Aboubakar, Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, Danny Namaso, Josh Kevin Nkudu, and Patrick Soko. I think that's a very good squad. Looking at the two games, you'll be playing against Eswatini at home, which is on paper is an easy win for you. And then you have one other chance to lead the table where you play against Cape Verde, who are on top of you by just a point. What do you make of your team's chances looking at this squad that has been assembled?
Well, I think the coach has gone in for an experienced squad because all the big boys have been called back into camp. And I believe when you look at the average age of the goalkeepers, we are standing at 26 years old. For the defenders, the average age is about 27 years old. For the midfield, 27 years old. And for the attackers, we have an average age of 28 years old. It tells you that we have young talents who are still coming up, but they were sidelined because given that these games are very important and crucial, because the objective is to get back to the helm of the group. Some of these players, we are just beginning the season in Europe, and I think some of these players were hitting the headlines either for the good or the bad reasons. But I think in the goalpost, eventually the coach has said his number one choice is Andre Onana. Even if he's heady, even if he does what he likes, Andre Onana remains number one for Team Cameroon. But Simon Ngapandu Tembu is coming up because he plays equally now he's on loan from Marseille to Montpellier. Very good young goalkeeper who is coming up strong. But for the defense, naturally, Christopher Wu would be there, and it will be interesting because the equation of Cameroon central defense is with whom Christopher Wu is always been paired with. That's the equation the coach has to answer, because sometimes he's been paired with Ngade, or other times with Boyomo, or some other times with Castelletto. But he is a key central defender, and owing to the fact that some of the other defenders, just like Christopher, who already has a yellow card, so the coach will eventually know how to manage that. We have our right wing defender Jackson Chachua, who has just moved to the Premier League, playing for Wolves. Nu Tolo, naturally, he's the landlord at the left flank. At the level of the midfield, which is the stronghold of Team Cameroon, Zambo Anguissa, the vice captain from Napoli, is a sure asset with Martin Horla. I mean, these are two tough guys. Then now we have Baleba, who maybe psychologically has been touched by the stories moving to Manchester or not moving to Manchester, has been quite affected by that. But, you know, national duty is totally different from when you play for club side. But this is the magic triangle we have at the level of Cameroon's midfield. And up front, Basogog is making his comeback into the national team. I think he was very impressive in the last two games when he was called up. And we have Brian Mbeumo, who is doing a great job at the level of Manchester United. He's a sure asset of the national team and veteran striker and team captain Vincent Abubakar is ever present. It's worthwhile mentioning that Vincent Abubakar doesn't have a club at present, but he remains the captain and leader of the team, and I think he's going to be one of the starters. And Choupo-Moting has been called back. He plays at the MLS League in the USA, owing to his great performance. Even though he's 36, he has been called back to reinforce the attacking line.
Well, quickly, just before we go, two questions. You've spoken about the fact that Abubakar doesn't have a club, but he's very much likely to start. You mentioned Choupo-Moting, but Frank Magri has a club. He's scoring in, week out in the French League A. Where does that put him? And then finally, you also spoken about the fact that you've got a lot of talent in the midfield. What is your particular top three in that midfield? And then your prediction for Cameroon's two games, Eswatini at home, and then away to Cape Verde.
Well, I would begin with Frank Magri. He has always been a disappointment when it comes to the national team of Cameroon. I think he has just scored a single goal He has been fielded several times as a starter, but has really never made it. So each time he comes in, each time he's a starter, it doesn't work out well for him. So the veteran striker, Mensah Abubakar, always has to come back and deliver the goods. And so far in the 6 games played, Mensah Abubakar has played 4 of the games, and he's the leading goal scorer for Cameroon at the World Cup with 4 goals scored altogether. So the statistics talk for the old boy. So Magri will eventually come and wait. And you know, we are in Africa, and there is that hierarchy. When the big boys are there, you can be scoring your goals at club side, but when you get to the national team, you humble yourself and you wait for your turn. And that's how it happens on the African continent. I bet you it's the same thing with our youth in Ghana and elsewhere. You have to be you have to be patient. So that's that for the attack. And Coach Mark Brace has said it outrightly that Mensah Abubakar remains the captain and the center forward for the team, because he is most likely is one of the most experienced players of the team, and he says he's going to very soon he's going to go, maybe probably before or after the World Cup. He's going to end his career at that level. And talking of Cameroon's midfield, we really have a lot of talents there. We have holding midfielders, and this time we have midfielders who can do the relay. They can be offensive, they can be defensive. We have Frank Zambo Anguissa, the vice captain, who scored the winning goal for Napoli in their last game, I think at the extra time. I mean, he's one of the key assets of the club, and even at the level of the national team, he is the master of the midfield. And you have Hongla, who technically very good, and he's a good sweeper at the level of the midfield. Always ready, always generous to give all the required efforts. And we have the rising star, Carlos Baleba, who learns from these players. And I think since Carlos Baleba came in, Zambo Anguissa has had a free hand and doesn't run after players to defend. So Baleba does the defensive work and sometimes goes in offensively, and it gives more room for Zambo Anguissa to do what he knows to do best. That's distributing the ball and placing players. And when we watch games of the national team, it is Zambo Anguissa who always tell Baleba where to stand, what to do, where to go, and the kid follows. He is still young, and he has the energy, the pace, the talent to move forward. So this is what we call the magic triangle at level of Cameroon, making it difficult for other players like Ivan Neyou, who people think is quite soft, maybe technical, but too soft for Cameroon's midfield. We equally have a player like Atiu Avom, who is a player who a few years back is a youngster. I think he's just like about 23 or something. He was with the junior team, and he's just coming up. Very good, and he's playing in the French side. I think it's his first season with the French League One club. I think it's, I don't know whether it's Rennes or one of those clubs, but he too is still very young, technically endowed, but he still has to sit and watch the others play for his time is going to come, because Coach Mark Brace generally says these youths are coming to learn their time. They are the future of the team, but they should sit down and observe the others play. And for my prediction for Team Cameroon, we have no problem with in beating Eswatini. I think the draw game we had against them away from home the last time was due to all that infighting between the players, the federation, and all the other stakeholders who got there practically on match day. The players didn't warm up, nothing, just went into the pitch of play, and everybody was doing his own. So I believe that serenity has come back in the Lions' Den, and just like when we received Eswatini in 1992, where they were still called Swaziland, we beat them 5-0. I just hope we replicate that. But focus is really on that game against Cabo Verde because an away win will permit Cameroon gain back first spot. And in our last games, we are playing Mauritius Islands and ending up with Angola at home. So we have a much more favorable outcome if we win the two games, which for us are very determinant games. If we win these two games, we know we are practically one step into the World Cup.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lawrence Nkede, for that comprehensive insight into Cameroonian football. There's always a story in Cameroon. Thank you very much for breaking it down for us. Well, thank you very much. Well, we still got Chris Katos all the way from Houston, Texas. Chris, before we go, let's quickly predict Nigeria-Rwanda. Uyo, your prediction?
3-0, Nigeria wins.
Then Nigeria's next game, I think that's against South Africa, I guess. What's your prediction?
Yeah, Nigeria wins 2-1.
So both wins for Nigeria in this international window.
Correct.
Well, in March you predicted that, but it didn't end that way. We hope that this time around Nigeria gets both wins.
Hopefully. I'm very optimistic. We got the players, we got the talent. Just want to be consistent a little bit and get a result. I'm sure we can do it.
Well, I wish you all the best. Ghana will not be in the AFCON. Nigeria will be in the AFCON. Ghana most likely will be at the World Cup. It's not looking too bad for Nigeria.
Hey, don't start that right now, man.
We are substituting. So thank you very much, Chris. Thank you very much, Mr. Nkede, for your time. We also spoke to Eddie Sabimana, who is from Rwanda, Kigali. We also spoke to Nashon Owano, who from Seoul on the Kenyan football, and then Group F in the World Cup qualifiers. Well, that's all that time will allow us for on Talking Points here on ABC Sports. Remember that this segment is brought to you by Betway, Betway More. They've got the Betway influencer. You bet, you share your codes with friends, fans, and followers. Whether they win or they lose, you earn 4% of that wager. We're back after this break to look at Ghana's Group I, where we've got Comoros, Mali, Madagascar, Central African Republic, and Chad. Ghana plays tomorrow against Chad. We've got a big crew to have that conversation on the Black Stars. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this break.
Introducing Betway's Bet Influencer, a groundbreaking feature where you can make money by just sharing codes. He just needs to share his codes and make money. The more his codes are used, the more money he makes. Oh yes, so what are you waiting for? Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more.
Rent back with the beer open. Come on, come and see what. Hey, wait, this guy. My friend, see before.
Wait, Telecel too much money promo. This is Kadeviera. Now what you Viera? Alpha, the Achadia Cassia Nagasa. 1.2 million Ghana cedis for Telecel cash, stock credit, and a bundle. Nejin a year, Din Kunima Cassim. Dale staff up from that hash. I'm not called Telecel play up also. Now for who Jimubi. Let's just say Din Kunimo. Telecel too much money promo nim. It's a Shayaka crackdown. You may DNL in a show to your characters lottery platform also.
Amacho, Sister Manako. When is campaign? Sister Manako. If you're a baby, many scared do no. If you know, Meto Chiaka. Into your neck, one no banum baby amobeda. Oh, no, Becca. You did too much money. No matter.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Gino Magic Pep. Gino
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion, a delicious tomato mix with tomato, pepper, and onion. No grinding, no blending. Ya yenini na da da da. So pa mediane no abe. Come on, Gino, do your magic. And papa no kunu abefi.
Tasty magic.
And your daddy trying to kiss again.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. The magic that brings them home.
This advert is FDA approved.
Playing for your country, enye easy. Scoring, enye easy. Avoiding injuries, enye easy. Winning, enye easy, Charlie. But you know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Aye easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnut. Just add water, then sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy, made easy. As I be street footballer, Gary at the top. Now we attend Starboy. Still Gary at the chop. I travel go abroad. Kivo Gary at the chop. Kivo Gary, he the bio. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
This advert is FDA approved.
Playing for your country, enye easy. Scoring, enye easy. Avoiding injuries, enye easy. Winning, enye easy, Charlie. But you know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Aye easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnut. Just add water, then sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy, made easy. As I be street footballer, Gary at the top. Now we attend Starboy. Still Gary at the chop. I travel go abroad. Kivo Gary at the chop. Kivo Gary, he the bio. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
This advert is FDA approved.
The glam we see, the characters we love, they've got stories untapped, events untold, the sequence and details of the experiences unheard.
To my dad, I'm the stubborn one. To my mom, he's the stubborn one.
To the first management that I got, I think I was made to exercise a whole year.
Hey, I'm 20. All I know is how to have sex.
I was out of contract for 4 years.
The pain, the agony, the frustration,
they made my depression worse.
Yes.
The hospital doesn't have a mortuary. We would have to take the baby in a box and then get rid of the body ourselves.
Sometimes I say something and they take it out of context and they bash my husband, they bash my family.
But hey, they survived and they're here to chronicle their journey with me, Miss G, on ABC News GA.
No matter how situations change, we'll always have our Charlies. Good times, tough times. We day for each other. We never settle for less, because we are Charlies. Charlie. Together, we are gold. Drink responsibly, not for sale to persons under 18 years. Not recommended for pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, welcome back from the breeder. You're still watching Sports World on ABC News Ghana with me, James Ohinbama. Earlier on, you heard from Eugene Oforisoti speaking to some international journalists on the African continent. Now it's time to come home where the Black Stars of Ghana lock horns with Chad. Then later on Monday, they'll lock horns with the Eagles of Mali at the Accra Sports Stadium. Now I have some special guests with me in the studio who will help me digest deep into the games that Ghana will be playing against Chad and also Mali. Gentlemen, welcome to Sports World.
Thank you.
I wouldn't take the honors. I would like you guys to introduce yourselves. So let me start from you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. The name is Eugene Aja.
All right. Your portfolio?
Goalkeeper trainer.
All right. I heard you're a former goalkeeper for Wild Stars and also a former goalkeeper for Accra Great Olympics.
Sure.
Great to have you on your show, sir.
Thank you.
All right, then please your name and your portfolio.
My name is Augustus Ofronyako.
All right, welcome to Sports World.
Thank you.
All right, so as I said, the Black Stars of Ghana are playing against Chad tomorrow at 1 p.m. We will bring you up to date or up to speed everything that happens in Chad in our subsequent bulletin. Then on Monday, we'll also be bringing you all the updates on the Ghana Mali game. But before we go, let's have the Ghana squad on our screens. The Ghana squad on our screens. You know that in the goalkeeping department, the Ghana squad on our screens, looking at Ghana Focus. In the goalkeeping department, we have Benjamin Asari, who plays his straight for Accra. So for he's the only local player in the squad. Then we have Joseph Annan also in the squad. Then we have Lawrence Atisgile. We are focusing on the goalkeeping department. Then we look at the head-to-head between Ghana and Mali. Looking at the goalkeeping department, let me start from Sir Eugene. We have Benjamin Asari, we have Lawrence Atizigi, also have Joseph Annan. Looking at these three goalkeepers, what can you say about the goalkeeping department of the Black Stars? Do you think we have a solid goalkeeping department, or you think there was a certain player we could have brought into the fold?
Yes, thank you very much.
Right.
And I'm greeting your listeners.
All right.
I think, honestly, I like the goalkeepers they've called, with the exception of Nuruddin.
All right.
Yeah, but I think
he was at Upin.
Yeah. But these three are the best for now.
Okay, these three are the best. Mr. Gestin, do you have any player you think could have been called into the squad?
No. From what my colleague said, for these three goalkeepers, they are the best for now.
All right, let's zone into on Joseph Annan. This is the second time he's been called to the Black Stars. His first call-up was in the Unity Cup in London, where we played in a four-nation tournament against Nigeria, Trinidad and Tobago, and also Jamaica. He didn't get the opportunity to feature in that particular one. But can you tell us about who he is before we look at his competitiveness in the Black Stars?
Okay. Joseph Annan is a young, talented goalkeeper born in Teshin.
All right.
Yeah, and we are proud of him because I'm also staying at Teshin, even though I wasn't born at Teshin.
Okay.
And I'm proud to mention his name wherever I go because I helped him when he was young. I trained him, not myself alone.
Okay.
I have other seniors with me.
That's great.
The like of my brother here. Okay. Yes, he also trained him. So we are proud of him. Okay. And that is it for now.
All right. Let me come to Mr. Augustine. Can you give us some qualities of Joseph Annan? What are the qualities he possesses as a goalkeeper?
When it comes to Joseph Annan, he's a complete goalkeeper. He has all the technique of a goalkeeping. Right. He learns from the basics. Right. We show he has he's a complete player when it comes to goalkeeping. So there is no way whereby Joseph Annan would lack of anything when it's in the goalpost.
Okay. All right, so for our viewers and our listeners, if you don't know Joseph Annan, he's a former West Ham United goalkeeper. I think he was their second or third choice goalkeeper in the English Premier League. Third choice goalkeeper. The season that Mohamed Kudus joined West Ham, he was with him in the squad. I think he was the one who helped Kudus settle in the West Ham squad. Then in the last transfer window, not this one, before that, he moved to St. Patrick, where he plies his trade right now, and he has been called into the squad for the second time. Now let me come to Mr. Eugene. Now we are playing against Chad. We are leading Group I with 15 points.
15 points, yeah.
The last time we played against Chad at the Accra Sports Stadium, we whitewashed them, scored them about 4 goals. And 5 goals. If you look at Chad, they've conceded 15 goals and they have just scored a goal in the qualifiers. Do you think that the Chad game is a game where Prince Joseph Anan should be given the opportunity? Because already Benjamin Asare Otuado has said that for now he thinks that he's the #1 goalkeeper for the Black Stars. In the last 2 games, he's the one who has been imposed. Lawrence Atizigi was only introduced in the Unity Cup, and it looks like it might be Benjamin Asare again. But do you think that Joseph should be imposed against Chad?
Let me be honest and really okay. If Anan is put in the post, I'm not surprised, but as a coach, I'll go with my first choice.
Okay.
And the reason is this: Ghana 15 points. We are going to play Mali next game. Mali is having 9 points.
Yeah, 9 points.
If Mali wins the next game, we'll get 12 points.
Exactly.
It's coming to play us, will give us pressure.
Yeah, and if he comes and beats us, he also gets 15 points.
Sure. So I'll prefer to use my #1. And then if I want to give Anan a chance, I'll give him a chance against Mali.
Okay. You talked about you being realistic and using your first choice goalkeeper. In this instance, it's Benjamin Asare.
Sure.
Benjamin Asare, yes, in our previous games against Chad, against Madagascar, we also saw in the Unity Cup against Nigeria where he conceded 2 goals.
Yeah.
The league has not started yet. Yes, Asofok have played some friendly games, the Galka Top 4 and other friendly games. Unfortunately, he will not be able to feature in the Democracy Cup because he's with the Black Stars.
Sure.
Do you think going into the game against Chad, as you said, is very crucial for us? Do you think he's had a proper pre-season to be imposed for the Black Stars compared to the other 2 goalkeepers who had pre-season in Europe?
Honestly, when it comes to pre-season, every goalkeeper and what he can adapt at any time. I have the chance to watch their training, and I think he's in good shape.
Okay.
Yes, you know what he's supposed to do. Benjamin has been in this job for a very long time. To get the call up, it's not easy. Yeah. I'm not sure Jobada is with it. Yeah. So definitely, he will get ready for the game.
All right. So I'll come to Mr. Augustine, but before I move to him, let's have the head-to-head between Ghana and Mali on our screens. Remember, on Monday at the Accra Sports Stadium, Ghana will be locking horns with Mali. Let's have the head-to-head between these 2 nations, the head-to-head between Ghana and Mali, because I think for the 2 countries who are playing against, Chad and Mali, for me, I think our biggest test is against Mali.
Sure.
We've beaten Chad here at the Accra Sports Stadium. So there we have it on our screens, Ghana versus Mali head-to-head. So between the 2 nations, we've played 25 games so far. Ghana has won 12 games. Mali has won 6, with 7 of those games being drawn. The last time we met at Bamako, where we beat them by 3 goals to 1. Jordan Ayew scoring in that particular one. So let's move on to it from the head-to-head, and let's have the last 5 games between Ghana and Mali. How have we fared in that last 5 games? Yes. So Ghana versus Mali last 5 games. So 9th February 2013 in African Cup of Nations, in the 3rd place game, Ghana lost to Mali by 3 goals to 1 in the 2013 African Cup of Nations 3rd place game. Then on 31st March 2015, in an international friendly in Turkey, Ghana and Mali drew 1-1. Fast forward to 21st January 2017, Ghana beats Mali 1-0 in the AFCON group stage. Kind courtesy an Asamoah free kick. If you can remember, that's good free kick from Asamoah. We beat Mali by 1-0. Then fast forward 3 years later, 9th October 2020, in another international friendly game in Qatar, Mali beats Ghana by 3-0. The coach at that time was CK Akono, and we lost heavily to Mali. Then fast forward 4 years later, that was last year, 6 June 2024, in the World Cup qualifiers, Ghana beat Mali 2-1 in Bamako. That was Otuado's 3rd game in the second camp. In that game, a lot of people thought that Otto couldn't win that game because in the AFCON qualifiers, we were not doing that well. And I think that was the turnaround for Otuado in the World Cup qualifiers, where we were able to lead that particular table. So let me come to Mr. Augustine. Now, Augustus, thank you for the correction. Now, we've seen the head-to-head between Mali and Ghana. As Mr. Eugene said, if hopefully tomorrow, whilst we are playing against Chad, Comoros will also be playing against Mali. And I'm tipping Mali to beat Comoros. If Mali beats Comoros, they get 12 points. If we also beat Chad, we get 18 points. If we are not able to beat Chad, the points gap between us and Mali is just 3 points. They come here in Accra. What if you're Tuadu? Let's say, for instance, we lose against Chad. Unfortunately, Mali also wins against Comoros. Mali needs that win here in Accra to at least be at par with us to qualify for the World Cup. If you're Tuado in such situation, what would you tell the boys?
Thank you. If I were be in Otuado's shoes, we have to win Chad and win Chad convincingly, so that when we are coming to play in Ghana, we'll be come and play the game. Right. The game is on Chad. Let's win Chad. If we win Chad, all Ghanaians will back into the Accra Sports Stadium and they will cheer them up. You understand? Mali, all the money will come. They will come with all their big players, but the game is on Chad. Okay. So I'll urge my players.
We just need to beat Chad.
Yes, we should beat Chad.
When let's extend our needs. Let's not focus on what other
countries. We shouldn't think about Mali. Okay. The thing, when you think about Mali, then it's going to be something else. Okay. The game is about 3 points. When you win Chad, you will be given 3 points. When you win Mali, you will be given 3 points. Yeah. So the first thing first, go in for a kill and beat Chad and beat them and Chad convincingly.
All right. So talking about beating Chad, let's have a look at our goal scorers. Ghana's goal scorers so far in the World Cup qualifiers. We have some number of players, like different goal scorers. So there you have it on our screens. Ghana's goal scorers in the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. And first on our list, you have Jordan Ayew. Jordan has 5 goals so far in this particular qualifiers. He's our top scorer. Then Thomas Partey, who now plays straight for Villarreal in the Spanish La Liga, has 2 goals. Scored those 2 goals against Madagascar in our previous game. Inaki Williams also has 2 goals. He scored his first goal for the Black Stars of Ghana against Madagascar and scored that second goal against Chad when we played them here. Enes Nyama also has 2 goals. He scored one of those goals against Chad. Then Fatah Ushaku has a goal. Mohamed Salisu scored against Chad and he has a goal. Antoine Semenyo also has a goal in that particular. And Mohamed Kudus, the star boy, also has a goal. Let's come to the studio. Let me pick the thoughts of our guest here. I'd like to pick your predictions. Ghana versus Chad. We beat them here by 5 goals. Going into their own backyard, how many goals do you think we are going to beat them, and who are going to be the goal scorers? And do you think we are keeping a clean sheet against Chad?
Sure. For that one, I believe we can win them like 3-0 right. More. I'm sure, but the goal scorers to predict. I want Williams to score.
Inaki Williams.
Yeah, I want him to score.
All right. Okay. So Augustus.
To me, we'll beat them by 2. We'll beat them 2-0.
2-0. And who are the goal scorers?
The goal scorer will be. We are all urging that William should be in his form of scoring for us. Okay. Because all Ghanaians, each and every Ghanaian is hoping that the guy should have goals. So when we go to the World Cup, when we qualify, we'll put our zeal in so that he will know that all our trust is in him. So if he scores 1 or 2, I'm okay.
All right. So those are their predictions ahead of the game. Remember, the game is tomorrow 1 p.m. Then Ghana's game against Mali is at the Accra Sports Stadium. The ticket prices has been announced. If you want to sit at the VVIP, it's 1,000 Ghana cedis. At the VIP, it's 500 Ghana cedis. The center line is 50 cedis, and the popular stand is 30 Ghana cedis. So just find your way to the Accra Sports Stadium on Monday in our quest to qualify for our 5th World Cup tournament. remember the tournament is being played at the USA, Mexico, and Canada. A lot of Ghanaians would like to be at that particular tournament. And before we end the show, it's time for Betway Oddboard, and Betway is saying that just log on to betway.com.da, select some games, share your codes with your fans, friends, and followers. And if you share your code, you will earn 4% of their wager. It doesn't matter whether they win the game or they lose the game. So let's have our games for the African qualifiers, the World Cup qualifiers on our screens. Our selection for this particular game, the Betway Oddboard. Let's have it for our viewers, and there you have it on our screen. So Chad versus Ghana, that option has been covered, but probably a lot of you know the options we chose for that particular one. Mali versus Comoros, we are saying it's over 1.5. We believe that more than one goal, more than 2 goals will appear in that particular game. Then we have Cameroon playing Eswatini. That option has also been covered over there, so you just have to pick the code and also see the option there. Then you have Ivory Coast versus Burundi, where we are saying Ivory Coast is going to beat Burundi. Then Egypt versus Ethiopia, that option has been covered. So you have the Betway code on your screen. Let me mention them. So it's BWEE2ACBF. BWEE2ACEF. So you just have to pick the code and then log on to betway.com.gh. So when you log on, you just have to share your codes with your friend. We can activate the phone lines and also just pick some 2 or 3 callers whilst I still engage my guest here in the studio. So my guest, your final message to Ghanaians as we play against Chad and also Mali on Monday, and also your message to the players, especially Joseph Anand.
Okay, I think viewers should continue to support the Black Stars, because that is football for you, and Ghana is a football nation. So all should support the Black Stars, so that we'll bring back the love.
Any words for Joseph?
Joseph, we'll tell him to continue his good work. Everybody is behind him. We support him 100%. And then he should continue to keep working hard, especially the club side, so that we will maintain his spot at the Black Stars. Because we believe that when he gets his chance to be in the post, Ghanaians will know what he has, and then his leaders here too will feel proud more.
Okay, Mr. Augusto, also your final words. This is your camera. Just tell the viewers and Joseph what you have to say.
My final word goes to the 2 goalkeepers, especially Abe is a brother to me, and Joseph is like a son. My prayer is that it should go far. Ghanaians are truly behind them in everything they do, so that they will take this game to a place where everybody will know that they have made us.
All right. So we have a caller on the line. Hello, your name and where you calling from? Hello, please, can you turn down the volume of your TV set and let's have a conversation?
Good evening.
All right, let me hear you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Please, I'm listening to you.
Hello.
I'm listening to you, please. Just listen to me on the phone. Don't listen to the TV set.
Hello, good evening.
Seems he can't hear us. If we can move on to another caller. Yeah, so the Black Stars will be playing on tomorrow, 1 p.m. Just be by your screens, support the Black Stars from your home, also pray for them. Then on Monday, if you can find your way to the Accra Sports Stadium, kindly do so. Mr. Augustus wants to say something here. Okay, before I come to you, we have another caller. Hello, please, your name and where you are calling from.
Good evening, my name is Ike. I'm calling from Akimwanda.
All right, Ike from Akimwanda. Let's have your comments on the show.
Yeah, so I just want to say we are behind the Black Stars and they should do their best and then try as much as possible to make sure that the team qualifies to the World Cup. You know, I mean, that is football. I say is one thing that really brings all of us together, irrespective of our differences. You see, so it is a very huge task on the team to make sure that at least they give us that particular unity that we need. Okay, because even though things are moving quite okay, but then there are still tensions here and there. So, but then if they're able to win this game, at least you see all of us jubilating and talking about the game and being happy. At the end of the day, we forget about this elections, violences, and people perceiving all these kind of atrocities and stuff. So we are behind them, and we are praying and hoping that by the end of the day tomorrow, we will at least get some good scores. Then for investors also, you see, at least you can get some coins.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for calling. All right.
Sure.
Mr. Gestos. Okay, let me come to you, Mr. Gestos.
Please, I would like to tell each and everybody who lives in Teshi that this is Teshi.
Okay.
We have Teshi, we have only Teshi, and we have Joseph in the team now.
Okay.
So we urge all supporters
to troop to the stadium.
And moreover, Teamwork FC, the chairman is always in supporting.
Okay, I'll come to you to finish on the Teamwork F. So we have a caller on the line. Hello, your name and where you calling from?
My name is Patrick.
All right, let's have your thoughts on the show.
My name is Patrick. I'm calling from Winneba.
All right, let's listen to you.
Tomorrow, God willing, Ghana will score Chad 5-0.
Okay. Another 5-0. Interesting. All right, it seems you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling. Yeah, so he says that you'll beat Chad by 5 goals to 0. Please, you can continue.
Like the way from where I stopped, I was saying that this is Teshi, and we are coming to support the Blasters with Teamwork FC.
Okay.
Our one and only chairman, who is in supportive with anything we do.
Chairman cool.
His name is Abetano.
Okay.
So,
that's great. Okay. So, we have a caller on the line again. Hello, please, your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Jonas. I'm calling from Labadi.
All right, Jonas, let's have your thoughts on the show.
Tomorrow, Ghana is scoring Chad over 4.5.
Hey!
Less than 4.5, then the World Cup, then you're not going there to do anything.
We are not going for. So why then are we trying to get to the World Cup?
Yeah, because we have seen how they play. When they came to Ghana, how they play.
Okay.
So even Kotoko, if they allow Kotoko, then Kotoko can score them.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That is the top of the senior Black Stars. So tomorrow over 4.5. Less than that, then the World Cup, they are not going there to do anything.
If we score less than that, will you be surprised?
You said?
If we score less than the 4.5 you are talking about, will you be surprised?
If it is over 2.5, then they didn't go there and do anything. They are wasting the money. Yes.
But it is 3 points.
I said over 4.5.
But I'm saying that if they don't score to your expectation, at least if they score just a goal, it's just 3 points. We just need the 3 points.
This one is not about 3 points. The goals also counted.
Just because it is Chad.
Yes.
Okay, what about the Mali game on Monday?
Okay, the Mali game, I think 1-0 is okay for Ghana.
All right. You think Mali is a difficult side?
Yes, please. Yes.
But we beat them 2-1 at their own backyard.
But it wasn't easy.
Okay.
You can testify it wasn't easy. But 1-0 or 2-1 is okay for Ghana.
Okay. I think that's fair. Thank you for calling on the show. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Eugene, please, you can also have your thoughts.
Okay. I want to add something to what my brother said. Like he said, Teshi is behind Black Stars. We don't have only Joseph Anand there. We have Jonas too there.
Jonas Ajeti.
Yeah, and we will support him.
Okay.
So that he will continue to keep up working hard. Yes. We pray for him. The sky is just the beginning.
Sure.
And we wish him all the best as well.
Okay, so let's pick last 2 calls and we can end the show. So I think we have a caller on the line. Hello, your name and where you calling from?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Please, your name and where you calling from?
I'm calling you from Cape Coast.
All right, let's have your thoughts on the show.
I want the boys to surprise the supporters on tomorrow.
Okay.
So that all the supporters will come back, follow the Ghanaian, the Black Star.
All right.
Only that I want from them.
Okay.
We should score Madagascar and then Monday too. And then all the crowd will come back to support the Ghana.
Okay. So tomorrow we are playing against Chad rather, not Madagascar.
Madagascar, right?
Chad.
Yeah. Chad. Okay. But I wish them to give them 5-0.
Okay. Any goal scorers?
Kudus Mohammed, Antwas and Menyon.
All right. Then who are the other goal scorers? You said we scored them 5. You only mentioned 2 players, or they will score the 5 goals?
Only 2 players.
Interesting. All right. Thank you so much for calling. Let's pick the last call on the show. Then we can end the show. So as I said, Monday at the Accra Sports Center, let's troop to the stadium to support the Black Stars of Ghana. If they win, we are going to the World Cup. So we have the last caller on the show. Hello, your name and where you are calling from?
I'm calling from Otinibi.
Okay, please, your name?
I'm Gigi.
All right. Let's have your thoughts on this.
We just pray for the players to do their best because people love them. They should all do their best and come out with a good 3 points. And please, the bet code, I think, check it well because somebody said he has tried and it's not opening.
Okay. So let producer, you can kindly place the code on the screen again so that our viewers can have a better look at it, so that they can pick it. So we have it on our screens there. BWEE2ACBS. So it can be on the screen for a while so that they can pick it. So my producer said I should pick 2 more calls. So if you have any other caller, we can speak to. Hello, is anyone on the line? All right, there's no one on the line. Okay, all right. So now we have a caller. Hello, your name and what? He's been dropped. So you can still call on the show. Remember yesterday. All right. Before I go to what happened yesterday, we have a call on the show. Hello, your name and where you are calling from?
Hello.
Please, your name and where you are calling from?
Hello.
Hello, please, can you hear me? Please, let's have your thoughts on the show.
Yes.
I think we lost him there. So yesterday the Minister for Sports and Recreation. Okay, before I come to that, we have another caller on the line. Hello, your name and where you are calling from?
Good evening. How are you?
I'm great. How about you too?
Yeah, I'm calling from Boga.
All right, let's have your thoughts.
I'm calling from Boga. Yes. Ghana will score them for 4-0.
Okay.
4-0.
All right.
And Kudus is 7-1, Samuel 1, and then Terry Glamte 1.
Okay.
But
That's an
one I
interesting
can't
one.
predict the other.
Okay.
I saw that one by myself.
Yeah. That's an interesting one. Yeah, Tariq Lamptey. He's back into the squad after 10 months of injury. He's back in it. Recently, he signed for Fiorentina in the Italian Serie A, so it will be good to see him score a goal there. I was talking about the budget. Yesterday, the Minister for Youth and Sports brought out some budget, and this has brought about a lot of controversies. But before we move on to that, let's have our last caller on the show, then we can move on to that. Hello, your name and where you are calling from?
Hello, I'm calling from Pandai region.
Okay, please, let's have your thoughts on the show.
So I'm playing with the Ghana players. Tomorrow they see me their match.
Okay.
So especially Jordan and Ahmad Suleiman, I want them to take the over.
Great. And I believe that they will do that for you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much for calling. So yesterday I was saying that the Minister for Youth and Sports, Mr. Kofi Idi Adams, spoke about the budget. For your information, I don't know if you can have the budget expenses, Ghana's budget for Chad game on our screen. A lot of things has been taken. So there you have it on your screen. So you have the estimated budget that the GFA submitted to the ministry for approval, and we also have the approved budget. A lot of the bonuses has been slashed, and the coaching staff, the coach including the assistants, are taking $10,000 winning bonuses, whilst the players are taking $5,000. At a point in time, the management members were also taking $10,000. That has been cancelled. No management member is taking any winning bonus again. So you can see that on our screen. So that's how we end the show tonight on Sports World with me, James Ohinbamakion. I did this with Eugene of Oforisoti, and also we spoke to other international journalists from Cameroon, Rwanda, Kenya, and Nigeria. They're not Ghana focused. We spoke to Mr. Eugene Aja, who is a goalkeeper's trainer, and also Mr. Augustus Miaku. You heard them on Ghana focus. Before we leave the show, we spoke to some Ghanaian fans at the Accra Sports Stadium on their expectations for the Chad and also Mali games. We also asked them about who they think will be winning those games. So we are leaving you with that particular video. Have a good night and see you tomorrow in our subsequent bulletin. Bye-bye.
Good evening, welcome to another exciting edition of Area Tech here on ABC Sports World. I'm Eugene Oforisoti. Well, remember that this segment is brought to you by Betway, Betway More. For today's Area Tech segment, we have hit the Accra Sports Stadium where the Black Stars have held their first opening training session in preparation for the World Cup qualifiers against Chad on September 4th and then Mali on September 8th. Well, we are asking fans what they make of the preparation of the Black Stars for these two games and the chances of Ghana qualifying to the 2026 World Cup. Stick and stay.
Yeah, my name is Jay Skillsman. Yeah, Skillsman. But most people call me Skillsman Junior Tornado. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You are an ex-footballer?
Yeah, I'm an ex-footballer before. Yeah.
Let's look at the World Cup qualifiers. Ghana will be taking Chad on Thursday, and then we'll play against Mali next week, Monday. How do you see Ghana's chances of qualification?
Oh, definitely will qualify. Black Star is a spirit. Yeah, this time around, the communication and the spirit and everything about Black Star is one now. There's love in the game, you know. Yeah, so they will be very able to qualify. Yeah.
And can you give any prediction for Ghana Chad?
Yeah, let's say Black Star can do something like 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah, 3-1. Yeah.
And then what of Ghana Mali at home?
Yeah, Ghana Mali at home. Maybe one day it will be very tough. But
you know it will be tough.
Yeah, it will be tough. But we get only one on chance. Definitely will qualify. Yeah.
And any possible goal scorers?
My boy, my man. Yeah. And then Jordan on free kick base. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, many Japan. Yes, and say Ghanaian players no more picky. No baby, more picky. I could do no. Who pan ye? Training so I bet no. Training shasi anye gidi. Said yes, you no. Niyama beko ye. Yes, supporters so no. Under our leadership, under the leadership of President Polo 4040. Yaya niyama bibri. Ya recite Quran. Fitin shasi kopim nebiye ye. Sanso na yako asore so yako srempa ebo ama Black Star team no. Enti no ya tutu ya niyama ye be awareness. Ni koni abanyina nti no said the last time ya nyankopon ya doma yetumi nya 6.8 goals you know. This time ya fast kwan ni so it we strongly believe say this time operation 6 points you know ya dia ebebem amaye. So
right here at the Accra Sports Stadium we've seen a group of teaming youth who seem to be supporters of one of the call-ups to the national team, that is Joseph Annan, formerly of West Ham United, and now with Patrick's Athletic in the Irish Premier League. Well, we speak to some of his fans and followers on who Joseph Annan is and what we are to expect from him when he's given the chance to be between the sticks for Ghana, when Ghana plays against Chad or Mali, or whenever he gets a chance to play for Ghana Black Stars. So join me as I speak to some of his friends and fans. I see you are here as fans of Joseph Annan. A lot of Ghanaians don't know him. Who is Joseph Annan? Is he a Ghanaian? Where was he born and stuff like that? Tell us a lot of the background of Joseph.
Okay, let me keep it brief, okay? Joseph Annan is a Ghanaian born based from Teshin, Accra. Yeah. And we are here to support him. We are happy he has been called to the national team.
Talk to us. So did he grow up in Teshin or something before he went to Ghana abroad? Or?
Yeah, he grew up in Teshin at a tender age. And he left to Europe for 10 years now. It's about 10 years now since he left.
So, I think were you one of the people who trained him?
Yeah. I'm one of the key person who trained him. I'm not the only person. Most of the seniors in Teshin trained him, but I can tell you for a fact that we are one of the best that we trained him to get to the stage.
So, what should Ghanaians, for Ghanaians who don't know him, I think he was at West Ham United as a backup goalkeeper. Then he left to St. Patrick Athletic in Ireland. What should Ghanaians expect from him? What kind of goalkeeper is he?
He's a young type of goalkeeper, that's a short stopper, a playing goalkeeper. But what Ghanaians should expect from him is the best. As a young goalkeeper, getting this chance, and he has traveled for a very long time. He has the Europe mentality, the African mentality, and believe he will give us something better.
Well, it's quite tough. Benjamin Asare is around. There's Lawrence Atizigi as well, who have been tried and tested. Do you believe he will get any chance anytime soon?
The truth is this, as a senior goalkeeper like myself, I understand the process. So I'm happy for him. Asari, I know Asari very well. We played together at Olympics. So I know him very well. He's a top notch. But I only encourage my boy, exercise patience. When his time comes, he will tell Ghanaians he's one of the best.
My name is Emmanuel Kofi Adika, and Joseph Annan here is part of our goalkeepers way back in Teshin. By the grace of God, he had the opportunity to travel outside. So he being called into the Black Stars, we said we have to come and support him, full support. Watch out for Joseph Annan. As at now, he's the #1 for St. Patrick Academy goalkeeping in Ireland. So we came here to support him. He's a very good goalkeeper. All of us here, there are some of us here who are goalkeepers, and we came here to support. We are giving him our full support, and we know he can deliver in the Black Stars. Go Joseph Annan, go Black Stars.
You know, we are here because of our brother Joseph Annan. Yeah, the best goalkeeper in Ghana. You understand? Explain to you how much and why we love this guy. It will be like we describing how it is possible. Please come live, come and watch him live. Joseph Annan, the best goalkeeper. Guys, I swear you, from now till Ghana, we are bringing the cup to Ghana. We are bringing the cup to Ghana. You know, come and witness. Yes,